The 3x4 Lifework Pathfinder highlights the interplay of three complementary forces that reconcile four oppositional perspectives as we develop our capacity to bring the good at home, at work, and in our communities. The complementary forces, flowing, forming, and bonding, are generated from four perspectives that are oppositional and intersecting. The four perspectives are always competing for advantage and control. The complementary forces triangulate to reconcile the oppositional perspectives and grow out our capacity for good in each quadrant. The surface perspective is concerned with the material and practical aspects of the status quo, and often includes economic and transactional elements. The depth perspective considers the psychological and emotional elements of the status quo. It's concerned with what is important and meaningful, and also includes moral and ethical considerations. The individual perspective is concerned with our self-interests and meeting our individual needs. The collective perspective represents the point of view of a specific identity group. Whenever we begin a sentence with "as a," we're taking the perspective of one of our identity groups. The major challenge is inevitably expanding our circle of concern to include identity groups outside of our own. Each of the four perspectives competes for dominance to shape and sustain, or disrupt and change the status quo, by generating and sending out flowing and forming energies, bonded to and based on its own perspective. Working through this conflict to bring the good is at the heart of life work. Each of us, and each one of our collective identities, has the ability to take all four perspectives on any given situation. And when a particular perspective reveals a problem with the status quo, it sends out flowing and forming energies to try to correct the situation. Because these energies come from a single perspective, they have limited effect, and in frustration, the flowing forces catastrophize the situation, while the forming force tries to constrain and oppress all others. When perspectives do battle, the status quo becomes unstable. The fallout releases the flowing and forming energies that were bonded to a particular perspective. If the fallout energies find a way to bond across multiple perspectives, a new status quo rises to reconcile the competing concerns. This ongoing process of collisions and rebonding across the four quadrants creates cycles of stability, disruption, and then a reorder of greater integration, wholeness, and well-being. In a future presentation, we'll explore the four quadrants and how the capacity for bringing the good shows up in each quadrant as competencies, as opportunities, as relationships, and even as our own sense of individual identity.